Right, it's the 7th of April and I've decided to start on my big potatoes. So all I've done is I've mixed some blood and bone into enough compost to do them two. They're B&Q, that one's Aldi compost. So I've mixed some blood, fish and bone into enough compost to do them all. These are the sarpo miras that I'll be taking, that I'll be growing from. I brought them into the bedroom, stuck them up with the sill because that compost is cold. So I brought them in here, let them warm up a bit. Then I shall plant them on, but the stuff for topping it off is there. That one's the B&Q one, that one's the Aldi one. I'm sure I pointed out in one of the previous videos that the Aldi one seems very sandy. So back in here I've got all my other bits popping up there. All I've done, stuck them on side plates. I'll find the best ones. Like that one, it's got one growing outside, another one there, another one there, another one there. That one's got about 6 growing on it. So what I'll probably do is I'll either chop them out or just take that top section off and dig a little hole further down, bung it in, let it grow up, and then I'll take it out, have a look, see what roots are like, and if there's any little tatty bits growing on them, then I'll put it up into a bigger pot and do the same with them too. I've just put some bags of Aldi compost, you can see it out there. I've just put some bags in the shed because I've got the polytunnels and they take 6 buckets along. So I'll do these 3 and another 3. I'll probably do all sarpo miras, and then I'll put whatever other ones are. I think there's King Edward's and Maris Piper. I'll put those in the other 6 and I'll just keep going until all the pots are full. Right, the soil's warmed up and so the tatties, so I'm going to start with this one. Right, I'm hoping you can see that there's another chit growing there and another chit growing there, so I'm just going to scoop this bit out and that's the bit I'll be using. Right, pop that down, and you can still see that chit's there. I'm just going to slice that bit off. And that's the bit that's going in. Right. I'm just going to drill a little hole with my finger, pop it in there and cover it up. That's that one done. So it's got a chit outside there. The rest of it looks alright. So I'll go in there. Pop that bit off. And that's the bit I'll be using for that one. Let's see where you can see. Yeah, you can see in there. I'm just going to make an hole. Just pop it in. Cover it up. And the third one, it's like the first one, it's got another chit popping up there and a chit there. So this one I think I'll just chop it in half. These are my sarpo miras, these. So chop that chit off, spin it round. Looks like it's all clear there. Chop that one off there. That one's got a nice big chunk to grow on. Right, I'll just tilt it down a bit. There you go, you can see that now. Just drill a little hole in the bottom. Get the 30, pop it in, just cover it up. Right. The one at the end, which is that one, I think. Sure, this is the Aldi one. Yeah, that's Aldi compost. And you can, if you can see it, hold on, you can see it looks sandy, does this one. But this is the Aldi one. So pop that into there. To make sure it's nice and loose when it comes out, because I have to pack it into this plant pot. There you go, nice and loose. Don't drop any on the floor because wife will kill me. Right, that one's done. Pop that over there. Oops. Right, onto the B&Q compost. This one feels a lot better, but I don't know what it's going to grow like. So it's just a matter of loosening some up so that it will drop out. Not that you can see much. Right. Right, which one are we looking at? Right, I'll just push it down there a little bit and you can see what's happening. Just loosening it up. A couple of little twigs in there. That's nice and loose now. That's nice and loose. So's that one. There's a little twig there, get rid of that. And that's it. They're all done. Spread it about a bit, firm it down just a touch. Right. This is the water that I use for watering the sweet potatoes. You can see it. So all it is a milk bottle. If you can see those, punch loads of holes in, and it turns it into a fine watering can. The harder you squeeze, the finer it comes out. That's it, just water them in and then leave them to start growing. Right, I'll turn you off for now because there's no else that you can see. Just watering the potatoes in. Right, there they are, all planted in, watered in. Water's out at the bottom of pots. I'll give that half hour, that'll give it time to just to soak up into pots. And any excess water that's out at the bottom, then I'll just put a tissue in or something just to soak it up. And they're the three sarpo miras. Can't think what potatoes are called now. Yeah, sarpo miras. So I need to do some labels, stick the dates and the potatoes on, and stick them in and just wait till they start growing. Right, that's it for now. I've just been putting it onto computer to edit it and add it to other clips, and I noticed this bit looked a bit naff, so I've come back in to do it again. They've all got the tags in now. It's sarpo mira. Says sarpo mira in small pots, date and single chit. So I'll know that it's just a single chit that's been taken off. Soaked a load of water up out at the bottom, so there's just a tiny little bit now, but now I can pull them off of there so that they'll be level. And they're all level now. I'll just leave them there till they start growing. Once they get big enough, I'll take them out of pots, have a look at the roots, see if there's any little tatties growing. If there is, I'll pop the smaller ones off and see if I can just grow one big one. If not, I'll make do with what I get. But nobody seems to give any information on when to plant your sarpo miras and other tatties. I mean, I found one on somewhere on the internet today, and they said anywhere from March. So we're in April now, so in theory it should be alright to plant these. But I think they were for planting outside in fields, whereas these are going to be going from here into big tubs, and if it's warm enough, which it should, because it's going to be at least back end of April, beginning of May, they'll go straight out into big tubs outside the back, and that will do them until they get harvested. A quick update on the tatties. It's now the 17th. Where am I? Can't really see, but that's the one. That one's there, just popping out, and I'm not sure, but that there could be the beginning of that one. So like, look at it, they're all coming out. I'll update this when I find some more bits. This is the 5th of May, and this is the sarpo mira single chit that's grown in the Aldi compost. I had a little brainwave last night. I actually added bloodfish and bone into the compost, but this one looks like it's burnt, so I'm wondering if it's got nutrient burnt. There might have already been enough nutrient inside the compost itself, so I might have to try another one in the Aldi compost with no fertiliser, no bloodfish and bone added to it. See if that makes a difference. This one is way behind. I'll just nip outside and take a clip of the other two that are in the B&Q compost. Well, this is as close as I'm going to get, because as usual it's raining, but them two there, they're the ones that are in B&Q compost, and they were done at the same time as the one that I've just shown you. Well, it's 17th of May, and this is the sarpo mira single chit that were grown in the Aldi compost. Big and spindly and nowhere near as good as the other two. It's 17th of May, and as usual I forgot to video it, but that's the biggest single chit sarpo mira. I took it out, had a look at roots, and it had a couple of small little shoots that looked like they were going to start growing upwards, that there could have been younger potatoes, so I popped them off and just left one. The other one is it's not doing nowhere near as good as this one, but they're both doing a lot better than the one that's in the bedroom, so I think this one will be the one that'll have the best results. Well, it's the 21st of July, and this is just an update on the sarpo miras. These three are the single chits. I mean, they've been well battered by the winds. There's full stems that have been snapped off. I'm not sure if there's, mind you, it's got to be one potato, but these were well battered. You get into that bit there, that's alright, but this one has been snapped off. I'd say it's snapped off down at the bottom. That one's snapped off there. I mean, they're still plodding on, so I reckon they've got at least another couple of weeks yet. Right, I'll go outside and have a look at the other ones. Right. These are the ones that were planted in the smaller tubs. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In theory, there's 6. But that one there is going yellow, but it's also got a label marked rocket. So I'm not sure if there were 5 or 6 of those. I'm going to have to check the previous video. But even these out here have took a bit of a battering. Cabbages, they're getting, well, some of them are filling out nicely, but that one there, there's a couple of them that are getting well chomped by slugs or something. So I've got little slug traps down, but all it's managed to catch are little beetles and a couple of moths, I think.